So yeah, I'm about to go do some music stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna still play this a little bit more and see where it goes to.
Experience and wealth of knowledge and all these things that I've been through and all these things that I've seen, and I've seen, both sides of the equation. And
You mean by having almost nothing when it comes to money and resources, and then having almost everything?
yeah, and the people and the exchange between people of all different worlds. So I've really come to the conclusion that we're basically the same. We're all the same. Like, and it sounds like some speech from high up, but they love, the first thing they'll probably say is their mother, or their husband, or whomever. I mean, we all love the same thing. We all want the same thing. We all have the same fears. Fear of failure. We all have the same aspirations.
You have a fear of failure?
Yeah, we all have fear of failure in some sort of way.
Despite success as a business mogul, as a musician?
Well, as a business mogul and as anybody who's been successful, you've always, the weight of who you are is on you as well.
Sure.
The weight of all you've done is on you.
Expectations.
Make your first album again, or do that interview like you had with
I understand that.
Pac. I want it to be of that level. It's just it's the weight of who you are. I said in the Kanye remix. Do you have the power to get out from up under you? The power to get out from everything you've done.
You insist that rap is poetry, and you wrote, Chuck D famously called hip-hop the CNN of the ghetto. Does hip-hop and rap have a responsibility to report and not just entertain? To take it one step further?
Yes, of course. You can entertain. It's everything. Rap is, it's entertaining, it's informative, it's provocative, it's funny, it's silly. It's all of these things. So absolutely. You can't have balance. You can't have one without the other. Life has balance. You can't have one without the other.
So what's that responsibility now when the genre, the music, has come under criticism for its lyrics, for its message? What's the responsibility now? Because you have said hip-hop is missing that emotion that it used to have.
Yeah. The responsibility is to keep pushing it forward, to not rely on the old gimmicks and old tricks, the things that the shock. In the beginning, it was all shock. Oh, he cursed on the record.
Imagine that.
It was just that. It was just that. Now it has a responsibility to push it forward, to tell deeper stories with deeper meaning and to entertain, and not to rely on the same gimmicks. And if that person is doing this sort of music, you do this sort of music. Give variety, not to make it stale. To give deeper meaning into what we're saying.
You embody a business mogul, if there ever was one, whether it's the NBA, 40/40, brands around the globe, your own production company and label. What's your advice to other people coming up who are trying to make it and trying to become moguls in and of their own right? What's your advice to them?
My advice is to do things that are true to you. Most things that I'm involved with are extension of being creative. Rockaway is a clothing company. It's part of who you are, and hip hop is your attitude and what you're trying to express, how you dress. I love sports growing up. I grew up in a household where sports was on 24/7. So these are all things that are comfortable for me. These are things that I like. So I would just say get involved in things that you love, and also have a standard for yourself and have some sort of integrity, and try to find some sort of truth in what you're doing.
What did you learn on the street? Because you talk about being 13 and selling crack. Did that teach you something of how to be a successful businessman, or how we all are?
All the things that you apply in business. They say that he has great instincts. But on the streets, having great instincts can be the difference between life and death, not just losing a deal.
Or incarceration.
Or incarceration, which is less than death, right? And and being a person of high integrity, people want to deal with you. you know, in business, in
Trust.
you know, trust and honorable, and you know, a man of your word. You know, all these things come to play in business world. I'm not condoning anything, any street activity, but it's just the way it is.
You are associated with a number of brands: HP, Coca-Cola, Budweiser. How do you decide who you want your name, your brand, your voice tied to, and what companies you don't?
I try to. Sometimes it's just more about relationships. I pretty much try to work with brands if there's some sort of partnership there. No, I don't typically do a one-off endorsement deals. I've just never been interested in that. It's just more so if I can create some sort of partnership. You know, the Coca-Cola was a partnership. You know, I was a brand manager, you know, acted as at one time. So I pretty much look for partners, you know, as opposed to one-off endorsement deals.
Well, yeah, it seems like you insist on some creative control, that you're not willing to just give the Jay-Z brand out or let people buy it from you.
Yeah, for me, it's my life. It's who I am as a person. So I can't just let someone have creative control of who I am.
Sure. It's important. Best investment advice that you ever received? What was it? Do you remember? Whether it was in the market or just investing in life and in business?
But yeah, I think just doing things that you believe in, you know, things that you understand. I think that's the best investment. I heard Warren Buffett say that just the other day. And I just innately felt that, you know, just invest in things that you understand.
Speaking of Warren Buffett, you recently spent an afternoon with him in Omaha, Nebraska. Went to lunch, sat down with him. Did it turn out that the two of you had more in common maybe than you thought?
I think most people do. After a conversation, you realize that you have more in common than you know, things that are dissimilar. Yeah.
What did you take away from that? What did you learn from sitting with him, and what do you think he might have gleaned from meeting with you?
I don't know. I have no idea on his side. On my side, he's very sharp, you know, and again, he just affirmed to me that instincts is really important in business. You know, I didn't go to any proper business school or any read any super follow any manuals like the Record Business 101 or anything like that. I just pretty much followed my instincts. And he just reaffirmed that for me, that, you know, your instincts are very important to you.
What about what you own? I read that your mother gave you a 3-ring binder, and you would write your lyrics in it as a child, and you'd hide it under your bed so that no one would steal it. Are your words still your most valuable possession?
Yeah, because they caused all of this, you know, saved my life, you know, so.
Saved your life?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, the things and activities that I was in, just as a broad statement, you know, everyone says that. If I wouldn't have made it here, I wouldn't be here. But no, really, you know, there was you know, one of my friends who's like a dear friend of mine. We would be together every single day. And if it wasn't for rap, if I wasn't taken away from, you know, the place I was, you know, he went to jail for 12 years. And we were together.
Would have been. Scholarship fund, Dies Rich, Died.
Charities, Fair Fight, Wealth, Narration, given to Shaji.
Children still don't.
Yeah.
In this country.
So the opportunities, you know, people, you know, were afforded opportunities that we just didn't have. And I think that's really the difference between success and failure. It's opportunity. Well, you have to have someone you drive in there as well. You have to put that in there. But, you know, if given the opportunity, you know, things would turn out very differently for a lot of people.
We have 1 minute left, so I want to do something fun, a quick sort of lightning round. I'll throw out a...
Genius.
iPod.
Man, I got to think of other words. Revolutionary.
Warren Buffett.
Sharp.
CNN.
Rap.
Rap.
Yeah, ghetto. We're forever intertwined. You guys report news. We report news as well. And you guys entertain sometimes as well.
Do we?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. President Obama.
Humble.
The Tea Party.
Well, I kind of fast forwarded through it, so it could be in 2 videos. I cut the other one real short, so just kind of did that 'cause I like the numbers. So. Mathematics, not playing, but I like the math and stuff. So I always like math a lot, so I still do. So anyway, I'm out though. Probably chop it up with you a little bit more, but that's about it though. I don't want.